Support and resistance, looking at it from an ICT perspective. In this video, I'm going over how do you identify those things and what I'm looking to target each and every single day. Again, if you don't know what support is, support and resistance is just relatively equal highs and lows. And you can see, for prime example, we keep on touching this area right here. So price keep on coming in here, and we're having a tough way of breaking through. But the way that ICT is teaching it, the way that I look at it is I'm looking at this as a big liquidity pool, and I'm looking at the target in that direction. And the same thing for this would be resistance, this would be support. So we keep on balancing off of these areas right here. I'm looking at all these buy stops, or excuse me, sell stops. I'm looking at all these for this to be targeted, for me to be targeting into that position and going for those buy stops or sell stops. In this case, be sell stops. But going through the day, for just a normal day, stay on the 5 minute, keep everything simple. This resistance, I'm looking at these. I'm not looking for price to come back in here and trade back down. I'm looking to actually target in that direction. So depending on the buy side of the sell side of the curve, I'm looking to target in this direction. And the real resistance, in my opinion, or support and resistance, are fair value gaps and order blocks. Meaning this would be an area that I've been looking at. So we got a come up, stack those highs up again, selling the idea that we're gonna go short. Selling the idea that this is going to stay intact for the rest of life. Come down. I'm looking at this for value gap. I'm looking to see if we can hold this area for us to then target these liquidity down here. So I'm looking for one side of the curve been ran, so I'm looking for the other side of the curve. So we actually took some sell stops right here. So now I'm looking for this to run lower, and then I will be leaving runners, all the good stuff. Once I saw more feedback, I will be then targeting up high. But let's start with the sell side of the curve right here. So looking at this being resistance right here, looking at this targeting this lower, you can see the 5 minute fair value gap right here is quote unquote what I'll be looking at is resistance, or excuse me, resistance, because I'm seeing this as, and you can see the bodies of the candle staying within this 5 minute fair value gap. The wick does damage, but look at the 5 minute fair value gaps. Look how the bodies of the candles close. I'm looking at that, looking for some short positions, seeing feedback, seeing this order block right here. It can be called a breaker, or order block in this case. Looking at how we were able to get below there, could drag that out, be an order block, and then I'm looking to us to again target this trend line and or support and resistance. So again, I think trend lines in the same definition because it's a way we are targeting, or a way we are accumulating positions on top of this quote unquote this trend line. I'm just looking at the way that just kind of make it simpler. I'm looking at all these buy stops, right? So the way you view it, trend line and or looking at this as resistance. Either way it goes, I'm targeting the same way. I'm targeting this liquidity that has not been ran down yet. So we're targeting liquidity, come down lower, boom, targeting that. I'll even be leaving runners, all the good stuff to break through here. Hey, it's okay. Come back up, leave another fair value gap. Let's say we're bullish for whatever reason, maybe a high time frame, we dropped into a 15 minute fair value gap, 5 minute fair value gap, 1 hour fair value gap, whatever the case may be. Then we're looking at this fair value gap. This would be your support. So we're looking at price to trade above here, back in here, and then look at us get some feedback off of there. You can see the 5 minute fair value gap right here. So I'm gonna drag this right here. 5 minute fair value gap being the actual support that I will be using. Coming up, trade higher. This right here. Now that we are on the buy side of the curve, I will be looking at this as some more buy side liquidity, right? So in my opinion, this is looking like this. And I'm going to do buy side right there. And we're going to get that straightened out. There we go. So I'm looking at this as buy side of the curve, or on the buy side of the curve. So I'm looking to target that. Why I'm looking to target that? I'm not looking for this to get into this range and then trade lower. That would be resistance, and that would be us trading lower. I'm looking for us to target, break through here, right? Break through in this these buy stops, trade above here. And then remember, if I zoom out, remember I had those buy stops marked up at this resistance, right? Asian high, London high. And then this, of course, this right here at this time was New York high. So all these highs stacked up here. I'm not looking for price to get back into here, right? Price comes back into here. And I look, oh, we're going to trade all the way down. I'm looking for this order block right here to support price. That's my actual support. This order block right here, 5 minute down close candle. This order block right here. I'm looking for that to support price to then send us higher and break through that resistance zone, right? Because I'm looking for this to be all taken. So again, if I was buying here, I'm taking partial here. Maybe if I miss this move, I get into here, and then I'm buying. I'm attacking this. Like my trade will look literally like this. If I wasn't in, or X1Z right there, boom, right there, stop loss below the order block, and I'm targeting this. I'm targeting these lows. These highs, and that's how I kind of view it. And that's how, again, looking at ICT, going those videos, and kind of how you describe this, you're targeting resistance zones and support zones. Again, stacked highs, stacked lows. I'm looking for that to be targeted, and I'm looking for it to take partials and leave runners, right? Maybe even I take partials right here, leave a runner, X1Z, right? That's kind of how I view it and how it's been helping me. And I kind of talked about in the other video how we're looking at buy side liquidity versus stop hunts, and this is a very ideal pool of liquidity. And just to give you an idea why you leave runners looking through stuff like that, as you can see, we come back here on the sell side of the curve, come back up, come back down. I'm going to just zoom this in real quick. Again, my actual support, actual resistance. Look at this fair value gap right here. This 5-minute fair value gap. I'm looking for candles buys or the candles stay within that price. You can see that we staying in here. Come down again, right? I'm not looking for this to bounce off and come all the way up high. I'm looking for us to come down, tack the position, come back up, bouncing only too far as this fair value gap and this order block. So I'm looking for those order block and fair value gap to hold price. If I was zooming in right here, and then you can see we just melt through this, quote unquote, zoom back out, resistance zone, right? We literally just came back in here. Oh, we're looking for us to buy. I'm looking at this as liquidity, and we just zoom very heavy into these positions. And that's kind of what I was looking for. Even if I was taking the trade right here, I'd be looking for these type of moves, this type of aggression, going and shooting through that resistance. Not saying it doesn't work. Not saying if you do trade support and resistance. Not saying it doesn't work. It's just the way I'm looking at ICT standards. I'm looking at that as liquidity, and so I'm looking to target those positions. Like I said, I hope that kind of cleared things up. I know it's different from a different perspective, but I think it's, again, from my point of view, it's helped me in trading a little bit more than supporting, looking just playing out support resistance. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next video.